Hello and welcome to part 2 of our bonus episode. As I said at the beginning of last episode, we decided to make this a two-parter because we didn't expect it to be quite so long as it turned out to be, and we were just having so much fun. We didn't want to cut any of it out. I really hope that you enjoyed part 1. If you haven't already listened to it, please go and listen to that one and enjoy part 2. I have my glass of wine with me while I'm recording these little side notes and editing this episode. So cheers! Now we're going to do the ravishing awards. So we're going to hand out some awards to people. So I have some categories.
Okay.
And we're going to decide who wins the award. We can do nominees as well. We can do some nominees and then we can do the winner. Okay, so the first award is the biggest walking red flag.
Oh.
I think
That's an
Rupert
interesting category. No, he's not a walking red flag, though, is he?
he kind of has to win, but Jake's got to be a nominee,
Yeah,
hasn't
but
he?
you've got to see the signs, haven't you? To be red flag, that's basically saying these are the signs of the danger if you associate with me. So I'm thinking Janie.
I was about to throw Janie's name into the ring because she, from like the off, seems like a red flag, doesn't she?
She does, totally.
She's a wild, loose cannon. Yes. Yeah, so...
Well, no, it's funny, isn't it? Because we condemn Rupert for being the master of his own destiny, but we condemn Janie. And again, we've sexualised the roles.
If they're doing the same thing.
She should be, we should be, whatever the word is, her as well.
And I guess she is more obviously a red flag from first glance than Rupert is.
Yeah, but why do we consider women red flags and not men?
But I was about to say,
Because
Rupert,
we judge women's behaviour more harshly.
Yes, well, that needs to stop.
everybody else sees Rupert's behaviour as a red flag, apart from...
Yeah, nobody sees his behaviour as a red flag in the books. It's only us not reading the books.
Or do you go Helen?
Oh.
Simply because it's like...
Daphne, who do you think?
No, we're not starting this. We're not starting the howling game.
No.
I think Helen, in a different type of red flag.
Yeah.
There's a reason you've got no
You've
friends.
picked another woman.
There's a reason you're blimmin' useless.
She's no friends.
Red
That's
flag,
a red
mate.
flag.
That's a red flag.
Yeah. No, she had Hillary. Come on.
Yeah, much later on.
Poor friend.
And not for long.
Yeah, but...
I'm gonna go with Helen.
I know, but I do
Yeah.
have to just point the accusatory finger at Sir Gilly again for using stereotypes so keenly. It's reinforcing sexual stereotypes.
But that's what it was then. You couldn't write a book set in that era without doing that.
And here we are. So are we falling into the trap by picking the women as the red flags? Because, yes, we all agree that Rupert was the actual red flag, but nobody sees him as the red flag. So what's the question again?
Yeah, I was literally about to ask that as well.
Who gets the
Biggest
award?
red flag?
Rupert. No, I'm
I
standing by
think
Rupert.
it's Rupert.
I'm standing by Rupert. Yeah, it has to be.
But I think Jake and Janie are nominees.
I don't think
They're all
Jake,
blimmin'
because
useless.
there was no warning about that.
Yeah, but
And Billy is because he doesn't lift a
you
finger
look
for
at him,
anything.
Jake, he is surly and grumpy, moody, uncommunicative.
Yeah.
Red
All the
flags.
things that you don't mention because you like him so much.
Yeah.
No, I liked... I don't like... I don't like... No, I need to get... I do not like the Jake in the book, how it ended. I do not like what he did. Absolutely do not. Hated him.
But
I'm just in my
tunnel
TV
vision,
series Michael
tunnel
Prey
vision.
world. Yeah. Okay, so you're all going Rupert.
I'm sticking by Rupert.
Well, yeah, it's
personally.
difficult, isn't it? Because I am obviously from the school that the church of worshipping women and all their greatness and ability, and that men are all inferior. And I'm not being sarcastic. But are we answering for the book or for our observations of the characters within the book?
We're answering the question.
Yeah.
Don't overthink
it's
it.
not specific enough, I'm afraid. Yeah.
The biggest red flag is Rupert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rupert. The
Rupert.
award goes to Rupert.
I don't think
The award goes
yeah.
to Rupert.
Okay.
The next award is for most likely to survive Love Island.
Ooh.
You mean
And
stay on to the end?
I'm
to
gonna
survive?
go...
Is that what that means?
I'm gonna...
Yeah, stay on to the end. I think Rupert would do very
You
well.
could say Rupert,
but
though, yeah.
He'd get
ultimately,
kicked
I think
my
Janie.
pick is Billy.
Billy.
You reckon?
No.
Because I think the nation would love him.
I
think the nation would love
I
him.
don't
I think
know.
the girls in
Who
there would
votes
love
him
him.
off?
I
I
think
don't
he'd have
quite
a
know how it
strong
works.
relationship from the beginning, and
And then
then
he'd
he
stay in
would
it.
win because people love him.
Okay, so first of all, I have the disadvantage of never having watched Love Island, although I understand the premise. I will say that. But bearing in mind that years and years ago we had things like Big Brother and stuff, which was where all the voting for people started off. And Daphne in the background now is just... She's not commenting on this. She's actually having a conversation with somebody else. So my problem is with all those programmes that the viewers were voting people off, they picked people quite soon who did nothing. People who weren't controversial, who were sleepers in the programme, actually didn't do brilliantly because people were bored of them. So early on, or even midway through, they got voted off because they never did anything. And my view of Billy is he never does anything.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you've got
think
to have a bit of something, haven't you?
he's charming. Billy is charming.
And fun.
He has this sort of, not innocence, maybe not the right word, but he does have a sort of innocent charm.
He's passive.
And then he has a bit of a dirty sense of humour, and he's a fun guy, and I think that people would like him.
I
think that
passive
he
wins.
would get into a solid relationship, and that's why he would win Love Island.
But that isn't what wins Love Island.
It is.
It's not. People want to be
I
entertained.
thought you said you'd not watched it.
Well, I'm using. Listen, since when do you need to actually have evidence to have an opinion on these things? No, I think you've got to be active, and yes, you're right. You've got to be a bit nice in the end because nice does win out, but you've also got to be engaged, and I don't think Billy's engaged enough with anything. Again, I want you to examine the women before you try to choose a man for the winner, please.
You think Janie would
I feel
do
like
that?
I don't think she'd win. No, I think she'd get voted off because the women would hate her instantly.
Yeah,
the
I think
women
Janie
voters.
would not make any friends in there.
Really?
And I don't think
But
she would
look at
want to
Fen.
settle
I was
down
gonna
with
say
one
Fen, I
person.
Let's
reckon
look
would
at
do quite
Fen
well.
and
Fen.
Fen's
Fen would do
reinvention of
well
herself
there.
part way through.
Fen would do really
On the
well.
one hand, you're voting for her, you're kind of backing her up because she's venturing out into the new world, and then halfway through she reinvents.
Yeah.
She sees who she could be and she chooses that path. She's a sure winner.
I think, yeah, no,
I
you're
think
right.
Fen, yeah.
Fen would be most likely.
And not Dino.
Not Dino.
Oh, okay.
No, because he's American. You can go on the American Love
Oh, is
Island.
he
I
not
don't care about that.
Okay, I didn't know there were those
I think
rules.
there's a different set of voting rules for the American Love Island.
Okay,
Let's establish
okay,
that.
I've never
I'll
seen
go
it. I
for-
don't know how it works.
I'll go for Fen too.
Yeah, no, I think Fen's actually a really good shout. And we can all agree that Helen would be a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Most likely to be on Strictly.
Well, Melise, because they always have a sad old bastard who can't dance.
Somebody's got to play the role there.
I think they'd want Rupert or Jake for being show jumping stars.
Oh, yeah.
Especially,
They'd want them. But would they get? Would
I
they be any good?
think
I
they
could
would.
see Rupert doing that. He'd love the spotlight. Wouldn't
No,
he?
I think they'd ask him and ask him and ask
no,
him,
he's
but
not
he wouldn't
politician
do
yet,
it.
technically.
Yeah,
I think he
don't
would
think
say
he'd do
no.
it.
I think he'd think it was beneath him in
I
some
don't
way.
think he'd do it.
I think
unless he
Billy
really
would do
needed-
it.
I think Billy would be fun.
No,
I
he'd
think
be
Janie
rubbish.
would love to be offered, but I don't think she'd get offered.
Can you imagine her putting the effort in?
They might. Helen. I'm thinking Abby Clancy.
No, I'm going for Melise.
They invited her.
Oh, as the wife of.
Yeah. I think they would want
She had an
Helen as the
identity.
wife
Yeah,
of
but she
Rupert.
We like
she
Abby
was
Clancy.
lovely,
She had an
and
identity.
everybody kind of fell in love with her, and she was
Yeah.
rooting for her. Can you
And
imagine that with
would-
Helen?
She would want that. She wouldn't get it,
No.
but she'd want it.
No, it's Melise.
Melise.
Yeah, he's the old guy that is kind of celebrity, but in the background.
She's got something in her butt.
She's got a leaf stuck in her butt.
They're all laughing at Daphne,
we
by
can
the way.
see Daphne out the window in the garden, and she's got
She's obviously
she's
sat down
got
on some
something on her
leaves.
bum. She's got a leaf.
All right,
stuck.
stop laughing at the poor girl. Leave her be.
It looks like a bit of poo coming out.
Poor Daphne.
Let me think.
Yeah, no, it's Melise.
Well, who else would there be then? Because what
But
are your
bearing
other
in mind,
options?
Strictly is...
Fen would do it.
And she'd probably win.
Yeah. She'd
Yeah,
probably
maybe.
she'd do it, and she'd be
She'd
like,
be really
"I'll
good at
probably
it."
be out in a few weeks," and then she would
No, yeah,
probably
she'd be
win.
very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the
Fen,
question?
that
Who'd
was
win Strictly or who'd get on it?
Who'd be on Strictly?
So I'm still going for Melise.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm thinking Helen.
You reckon Helen?
Yeah,
I think
I think
Helen's
she'd
not a
like
bad
that.
shout, but no, I do think that Fen would just do it.
She'd win it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if she'd want to do it. I don't. I
Don't
think
forget confidence. You need
she might turn it down, maybe.
got quite a lot of
Although look at all
confidence.
the
She's been in the
fantastic young
Olympics.
British actresses who've gone and done Strictly because they wanted to challenge themselves.
Yeah.
And that's exactly her personality.
Yeah. I think she'd do it, and I think she'd do well.
Yeah.
Next one,
Agreed.
last one. Most likely to start a podcast.
Isabella. Phil. What's next?
Percy, Barnaby.
Janie's the journalist.
Janie,
Wouldn't Ivor Brain do a brilliant podcast?
if you could figure out how.
I'd like.
I was about to say somebody who's in on all the know, but not involved in it. Like somebody who knows about all the drama and the gossip of everything that's going on, but they're kind of irrelevant, but they kind of want to...
You see, you guys are going to be annoyed at me for saying this, but Mum's going to get it. Billy goes on to become a presenter for the BBC.
Yeah.
So when he stops...
What? You can't tell me that! No!
I think, do you know, like, the For the Love of Rugby that you listen to? Billy would do something like that.
Great podcast.
Where he talks about show jumping, anything probably horse sport related. Yeah. And he would do that after he retired, because he already does that commentary, and he's a presenter on the BBC. He would do a podcast.
That's not what we've had on the podcast. So to me, he's still a passive character.
Yes, I know. I said they weren't going to.
So you can't see that for him of what you know of him so far in Riders. Okay.
But Janie would love to do a podcast. I don't know if people would listen, but she would do it.
Why don't they just get all of the wives to do it while all the men are off show jumping?
That's a different show.
That'd be great.
The Real Housewives.
The Real Housewives, yeah, there you go.
The Real Housewives of Russia.
There you are. Here we go.
Maybe we should have the Real Mistresses of Russia.
That would be another show.
Or just the Real Mistresses of Rupert.
Yeah, that would be, a vast array of
Did we agree on Janie for that one?
I think Janie.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I'd still like to listen to Ivor, but Janie.
Yeah, I would love to hear Ivor. I think Billy would feasibly do it. I think Janie's the most likely from what we know now.
Yeah.
And I think that Rupert and Jake would absolutely not do it.
But then in a way you could see Rupert being a special guest every week.
Yeah.
Being like, do you need another special... Yeah,
I'll do
Or
it again.
they'd make him come back every time because they got the most views when Rupert was on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no but a louse.
Let's move on to our next segment. And I'm really excited about this one.
Uh-oh.
This one is called the Listener Corner. And we're going to hear from some of our listeners.
Okay.
So I put a post out on TikTok asking for people's opinions on riders, and we got a couple of people. One that I'd like to mention, somebody said, where is it? Called, their username on TikTok is, I don't know, RG Brip, maybe?
Yeah.
It's just some letters.
Quite like it.
They said, I'm obsessed with you and your mum's podcast.
Oh,
thank you.
Well, I am as well, I have to say.
We're honoured. We're honoured that
that's
people
fabulous.
listen, and thank you so much. If you like us, please tell us, because we like that, don't we? Okay, so Elia on TikTok said, from reading Riders, I thought Jake would have been more attractive, but in the Riders movie, he's not, whereas Billy and Rupert are.
Oh, controversial. Well, I wholeheartedly disagree. No, I agree with Billy. He was very attractive in the TV. Mm-hmm. I just have a thing about Michael Praed with long hair. Admittedly, in Riders, he had short hair, so, but
you haven't mentioned that yet.
But was it Marcus Gilbert? Was that the actor who played him?
Rupert in the
and
show.
I think he's a nice guy, and I've seen him in other things, but I don't think he was right for Rupert.
It's a no from me. No, thank you. Rupert is a young Prince William, always has been, always will be.
Yeah.
Moving on. But no, I didn't even think that Jake was going to be attractive in the book, but that's because he's not really my type of guy, where he is your type of guy in the book.
What does she mean by that?
But yeah, she doesn't think that he's attractive in the show.
No.
And we know your thoughts on that, don't we?
Yes.
There we go. Okay, next one from Amy Turner. Tori deserved better for her ending.
Truly.
And everyone knows my opinion.
She did.
We all agree.
Well, she did. Well, from our outside looking in, she definitely deserved better.
Yeah.
But if you put yourself in Tori's shoes, what is better for her? Better to walk away.
What's better for her? To realise her own worth and be a strong, independent woman. That's what's better for her.
Absolutely.
Do you think that's ever going to happen with the life she's had with her mother?
That's not the question.
No, I know that. But if you're looking at it as Tori, I think she got her happy ending.
Yeah, she got what she wanted.
We
She got what she wanted.
We think she deserved a lot more.
Yeah.
So I can't...
Well, we know there are thousands of women in history who have accepted a partner back after that sort of thing. So, who are we to judge in that respect? And you're right, she lived under the thumb of that really strong-willed mother for long enough.
She did.
So,
and
her
getting
own
away
self-esteem
from her
would be
a
challenge.
win in itself.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
But, in terms of, is he good enough after behaving like that? No.
No, he's not.
Not for someone like Tori, who's so sweet.
But he might have completely changed him and he might be fantastic from now on.
Well.
Who knows?
Yeah, well, that waits to be seen.
But yeah, we kind of agree with you there, definitely. But also seen it before.
Okay, Emma said, Jake's behaviour was worse than Rupert. He married Tori for her money, ran off with Helen, which drove Tori to attempt, we all know.
Yeah.
Deserting his team in the middle of the biggest event of their careers, even though he didn't give the slightest impression that he had actually any feelings towards Helen, but rather he did it to get at Rupert.
I think she's right.
Yeah.
I mean, that point, deserting his team.
Yeah.
Rupert would never do that.
And we saw what Rupert did for his team
Yeah.
in that situation.
Dislocated shoulder and trapped nerve.
Yeah, he
And
could have forgivably deserted his team
Yep,
in that moment, and he chose not to. Whereas Jake had no excuse and he did it anyway.
Yeah.
Jake is worse than Rupert, in my opinion.
And back to double standards and things, wasn't Fenn's act of jumping that jump at the sports event that no one else would jump also deserting her team?
Well,
yeah, but that
I guess
decision
you could
was
call
made.
it that, can't you?
That decision was made without her input.
I will point out that wasn't a team event.
No,
Okay.
That was an individual
just
event.
saying, just
The
saying.
Olympic event
Just
that we're
keeping
talking
everything
about
level.
is a team event.
Yes, indeed.
But you make an interesting point. I can't argue that she was abandoning the team and more choosing the sport over the other competitors.
Yeah.
The hard thing about these kind of sports, though, is that it's an individual sport ultimately. Like, when you're growing up, you do it as an individual. You're trying to win. And then you get to the Olympics, which is like the pinnacle, and it's like you're now in a team. And then you're like,
Got to do what's
but I
best
still
for
want
the
to win.
team.
Yeah, I still want to win.
But
And it's like,
throughout their whole careers,
but if someone was to go
if
to you
they're
and
on
be
the
like,
British team, they compete. They go to shows and they compete as the British team.
Yeah, but in order
It's a
to be in
very
that position,
individual
you've
sport.
got to believe that you can win.
it's a
Yeah.
very,
Every sportsman
It is
has
an
that.
individual.
it's an individual
type of
sport,
And
which
against
makes
all
it
odds,
very
they'll
hard.
still try and be that one that wins, even if it actually diminishes what the team.
But the point here is that Jake is worse than Rupert.
Yes,
he is.
even I agree on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
For all
funny.
the things that Rupert did, he never abandoned Helen, did he?
He might as well have done.
Yeah,
No.
but
But
this is the thing. I feel like he does so many bad things that you forget how many there was. It's just like, well, it wasn't that bad because you kind of just gloss over the 10th time it happens.
Yeah, it's sort of irrelevant with him
Yeah,
because you
exactly.
expect it of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one thing that struck me, and it might be your presentation, Jan, on the podcast, but the Jake turning at the end came as a surprise to me because he'd sort of been walking the walk up to that point, and then it was like a catastrophic throw in the whole direction he was walking in away. And I obviously, Tori was the most important person in that entire equation, but his behaviour was a surprise to me as a listener to the podcast. Because it was out of character from everything we'd seen to that point. And obviously I haven't read the book, so I didn't have the nuance of his character at that point. I just had your guys' reflection of it. But yeah, that surprised me. And I guess because that caught me out, that makes him less of a person than the one who's constantly disappointing, therefore you ignore his disappointment.
You don't expect better from Rupert,
You do not.
but you expected better
Actually,
from Jake.
was
I
more
sort of
shocking,
do.
wasn't it?
I expect the redemption of Rupert is when he suddenly toes the line, because that is a bigger step than anything anyone else ever
Even
made.
though it's objectively a small achievement, it's a
one
big
you
step
expect
for
of everyone
him.
else.
Yeah. Okay, doing this because of boredom said, controversial opinion, but I honestly don't think Rivals does as good a job at redeeming Rupert from Riders as people claim it does. And you guys aren't going to be able to answer this question.
No.
I know,
We can
and this is
pretend.
more for me and Mum.
Are we talking about Rivals, the TV
Rivals?
show,
Rivals,
or
the
Rivals
book.
the book?
The book. I kind of have to agree on that one. I think his redemption arc really spans the whole series. It's not something that's like it's been and done at the end of Rivals.
No, I agree with that. But you do see him start to pull a bit more in Rivals for other people.
Yeah.
You know, part of the franchise and the things that he does to help the franchise team.
You see
more
of a better side of him.
Yeah, but I don't think you see the full arc.
He's not done
book.
developing at the end of Rivals. No, we agree with that. And we'll talk a lot about that in the next series. Best believe we'll talk a lot about that. And they also said that their favourite moment is hard, but maybe when they have to jump each other's horses, you know, like we were talking about earlier. And Fen says, because Jake has to ride the horse called Clara, and she says, "Oh, Clara, please jump a clearer." And just in general, Jilly Cooper's wordplay, she loves it, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And that is such a reason to go and read the books, because we can't cover all these little things that Jilly does that just make the books so good.
Yeah,
and she loves a bit of wordplay.
So many brilliant little quotes.
Yeah,
that's all we'd be doing.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a pun, to be fair.
I love a pun. Who doesn't love a pun?
So can I suggest then when you finished Jilly Cooper, you do Woodhouse?
Oh, yes. I don't think we'd quite get the audience for Woodhouse, but I love Woodhouse.
Yeah.
Okay, Esther said, probably not controversial, but Billy and Janie should not have been together. That's not controversial.
No,
Billy and Janie should not have been together.
No. Why did she go for him in the first place?
Yeah. Why did she go
What
for
did she
him? Why
suddenly
did he
want
go for
everything
her?
that she didn't want before now? Is that just capriciousness?
I think Janie's the kind
Because
of
he's
person who
gorgeous.
imagines that she wants a certain type of life for herself. And she's quite an obsessive sort of person. And she thinks, I want to be a housewife and I want to marry a rich, famous man and I'm going to live in the countryside and it's going to be amazing. And then she decided to go out and get that.
Yeah.
She didn't know what it was actually going to be like, hence why she's so seemingly unhappy when she gets it. And I think that's why she went after Billy. But there is some type of magnetism between the two of them. We've talked about this
There
a lot.
absolutely is. And, you know, they get back together. They have a baby. They stay together.
They're consistently drawn to each other.
Yeah.
Should we give a little spoiler?
Go on.
No.
What? No, you can't do this to me.
The book, is it Mount? One of the later books, really Amber,
Yes.
is one of the main characters. Amber Lloyd Fox,
Yep.
the daughter of Billy and Janie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
She's not even born
progression.
yet.
Yeah. She's not even born yet.
Yep.
No. And this Christy, who is born in this book, never
gets
gets
mentioned.
again. It's
No.
really strange because
No.
we come to, I think, Wicked, which is maybe book 5.
Is it about the Wizard of Oz or something?
No,
about to say, yeah.
unfortunately not. It's about schools. And the two of the students are Amber and Junior Lloyd Fox, the twins of Billy and Janie.
Yes.
Where's Christy?
Where's Christy?
She doesn't exist anymore.
Christy.
Well, what do we reckon happened? There you go. That's a fun game. What happened?
What happened to
What happened to
Christy?
Well,
Eaten by the wolf.
yeah, probably. That would make
Okay.
sense. Yeah,
Okay. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Swarm will moo.
yeah, swarm one.
Said, I absolutely detest Jake.
Ooh.
I
Love hate for Jake.
I also detest Rupert, but he is at least funny in an awful way. Jake is irritating and a hypocrite.
And grumpy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have
I say
always
fair
said,
enough comments there.
If
you
you're, you know, at the very least, be entertaining. Do you know what I mean? You can be awful.
Yeah, but
You can be awful, but if you're entertaining, at least you're entertaining.
Have you
And
heard of Noel
Rupert is
Coward?
nothing if not entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, like we've already said, if Rupert's there and he's on your side,
Yeah.
you know it's going to be okay.
You know it's going to be all right.
Yeah, but I don't think Jake's
Yeah.
really on anybody's side.
No,
is
and
he?
he's not entertaining.
No,
What
he's
does he
not.
offer?
He's
do
not
you not
funny.
think Jilly, in a way, makes all of these characters have something
Jilly.
about them?
Sir Jilly.
Yeah.
Sir Jilly, sorry.
Show some respect.
Yes. Put some respect on her name. Sir Jilly, do you not think she puts all of these characters you detest in a certain way? It's not there isn't one where you're like, well, I love them, they did nothing wrong. They all do things wrong.
Yeah, they're all.
It's who you do almost detest the least,
Yes.
that you therefore love them.
Isn't that the human condition?
Yeah. Well, none of us are perfect.
But
so-
that's
yeah.
why we like her.
Of all
She
the
doesn't do
characters.
goodies and baddies.
No, except
baddies.
Taggy.
Except Taggy.
We come on to Taggy next book. Well, we kind of. Yeah, there are other. I can't think of any that are
Squeaky clean.
solely good.
Apart from Taggy.
Yeah.
I think, and this is some lore, and only the ones who read all the books will know about this. Etta.
Oh.
We thought Etta was going to be another Taggy, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
She was introduced
Yeah, I
as...
thought that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Sorry, boys.
Had to drop that bombshell at the end. My
We
word.
thought she was going to be another Taggy.
They
and
ruined.
God, she's
She
such a
turned
bloody drip.
so irritating.
And I think Jilly intended her to be another Taggy, but she ended
A
up
much,
being
much
so...
older
She came
Taggy.
off the page so irritating.
But
that
how did she
Jilly
become
just-
the president of the United States?
I can't believe she ended up on the moon. It was ridiculous. Outrageous.
You guys are so funny. Right, okay. RG Brip, the one who left that lovely comment about us,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
also says...
Right.
The most controversial opinion is I wish Tori shot Jake at the end for doing her so dirty like that after she was his absolute rock and never even complained about his constant BS.
Can I just say, we have gun laws.
That is true, we do. But she should have done it anyway.
Yeah,
she
that would
wouldn't
be.
know, would she?
They have
But-
crimes of the heart, crimes of passion in France, where
Yeah.
women are allowed to murder their husbands
Are
and
they?
get away with it.
All right.
That's the-
Tori
that's the
needs to
thing.
move to France, kill Jake, be done with it.
Well, just time it when there's a competition in France. There you go.
They also said, additionally, I loved Fenn's character and found her so real. I really rooted for her, even though she would really mess things up for herself and be horrible at times. But again, my biggest issue with her was that she didn't appreciate poor Tori enough. Thank God,
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least Dino got her that dishwasher. I feel like Tori and Taggy are an interesting comparison in how they care selflessly for everyone around them, but struggle to be truly seen and cared for themselves. But where I love the end of Rivals for Taggy, I sort of hate the end of Riders for Tori, because I'm not convinced Jake really does see her. I think he just realises he'd be lost without her.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
So she's with me.
Yeah.
Can't
But
have hit the nail on
hold
the
on,
head
what
there.
we
Really
were
hit the
saying
nail
that
on the
we
head.
didn't. We thought there was only one good character, Taggy. We forgot Tori.
We did forget Tori,
Yeah.
as
No, I didn't.
everybody does.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
I didn't.
No, you're right.
No.
Yeah,
She deserved better. She did. And whereas Taggy gets to have that happy ending, well, who's to say?
Tori gets
who's to
her
say
own
that Jake,
happy
who
ending.
has so heartlessly cheated on Tori and literally completely publicly ran out on her and run away with another woman, who's to say he's not going to do it again?
Well, exactly.
I don't
That's-
think
isn't that
he's
always the
realised
issue?
he loves her. I think he's realised...
the
Well,
life
did-
he's given up.
Well, didn't he say he'd prefer her to be his mum or something at some
Yeah,
point?
exactly.
I mean, what
And
the
I'd
fuck's that
rather be...
about?
I would rather be with someone who wants me than someone who needs me.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
I mean, ideally both, but he doesn't want her so much as realizes that he needs her.
Yeah, no, I agree with your listener. It's problematic, much more problematic than we've given it credit for today. Maybe.
Yeah,
I would
it's
say
too complicated to
for
get
us,
into.
an initiated gentleman over this side of the table.
Yes.
Taggy is the girl in the TV series that's on at the moment,
Yes.
with the much older man that nobody seems to find problematic. Is that right?
That's right.
No, we all know.
So I find it a bit weird
we just
when I'm
don't.
watching it.
We just don't think about it,
No.
Okay, just
Yeah.
saying.
Because it's not real.
and that's just how this goes. And I will
Is that-
say, and this says more about the books than it does about me. At least Taggy's over 18. Let's leave it there.
Yeah.
Giles Cosgrove says RCB got off scot-free somewhat concerningly. The whole thing with Billy at the end was crowbarred in so RCB
Yes.
could find retribution, and he may as well be a different character from Rivals onwards.
Well said.
Can we just clarify what RCB means? Because when
It's
I see
Rupert
RCB,
Crumble Blap.
because I think of Royal Challengers Bangalore.
Yeah,
course you
well,
do.
nobody else does, so that's okay.
You and you alone.
Cricket.
Squirrel.
He looks at that time. He looks. Yeah, I think Rupert after this book is kind of a different character, and you do sort of disconnect. And I know for me, going back and reading this to do the podcast, I thought, oh my God, I forgot he did that. I forgot he did that. And you do sort of disconnect it because in the grand scheme of things, this is one book out of 11.
Yeah.
This is such a small part of his story in the whole grand scheme of things. And you do sort of discount it.
Isn't it
towards the end.
inevitable, though, that authors kind of slowly, quietly redirect their thoughts and characters as it progresses because the book talks to them in different ways as they're writing it? I mean, all the really good books, the characters in it have kind of forged their own path, regardless of what the author was planning, because that's the best way stories are told.
Yeah, I think characters do find their own way, don't they?
When they're good.
Yeah. And I think Julie Cooper's characters find their own way, don't they?
But do you not remember the first time you read this book, before you'd read all of the others? And do you not remember being like, you can't have been like, oh, but I'm sure he gets better.
I can't disconnect what I know. I can't
now you know it's
it.
Easy, but like at the time, without reading any of it else, I'm just like, he's just not a nice bloke,
that's why I like
is
to
he?
hear other people's opinions, and people's opinions who don't know all of the books yet. Because I can't remember what I thought of him straight away.
So long ago.
In terms of what you're giving us for the future of the books, and Rupert in particular, from our perspective as only having listened to somebody talking about reading the first book, Rupert has been misbehaving all the time from the very beginning, so you tend to ignore his misbehaviour because that's part of the scenery.
Yes.
So it's quite easy to kind of not forget about it, but you don't even have to assume that it's stopped. All you have to do really is take it for granted that it's still carrying on, and maybe that's what he does.
Yeah.
Well, if you brought it up every time he did something wrong, you'd still be on episode 1, wouldn't you? So, do you know what I mean? We'd still be sat here talking about goodness knows what. So you do.
But I still think that Jake did worse.
It's all right. I think they need a wee.
No, we're going to have to stop.
Okay.
They're going to need a wee.
I've got one more listener comment, and I've got a couple wrapping up things to do.
Okay.
But I cannot do it without going for a wee.
Okay.
We'll go for a wee.
Are we all going?
Well,
together?
I think that would be
I'll
worse
go.
than one of Rupert's big
Oh,
problems.
there's only 3 toilets, and four of us go.
Well,
Okay.
It's okay. I'll get a beer. Don't worry.
Where's Poppy?
Okay, as you can see, we are taking a little bit of an impromptu break to go to the toilet. While we're on this break, please enjoy this little clip that I found while I was editing of Cam getting our dog Daphne to record her own section for this podcast, and me walking in on him while doing so.
Sleeps, Daphne is speaking to the mic. Say hello. Woof woof. Woof woof woof. Woof 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 woof.
Busted!
Woof woof. She wanted to say hello.
Oh, darling, thank you for joining. Right.
Anything else to say, Daff? Any final
down.
words? Final words? Woof.
Right, apologies for the last minute break. Cam? Cam's opening another beer.
Uh-huh.
We might have to put in an extra break, to be honest, because we're at an hour 40.
Oh, crikey.
Oh, don't make everybody listen to that.
We have one last comment. This is from Elia, who says, I actually don't have a controversial opinion. However, I have a favourite moment when Rupert tied up the hunt sab.
Yes!
Oh, that's a great moment. I love that moment.
You don't even remember it.
You're going to have to fill us in.
Nigel is when Nigel was letting down the
Taking Helen
tyres
to the hunt.
to Rupert's horse box.
That was like very beginning, wasn't it?
Yes.
Nigel was letting down the tyres of Rupert's horse box, and Rupert caught him, beat him up, stripped him, tied him up, and left him in a field.
You see, I think that was a little too much. To beat him up, strip him, and tie him up.
I think Nigel deserved it.
Yeah, he did.
Because he's a vegan, but let's not forget.
I think...
Says the vegetarian.
Yeah, but vegans have just ruined it for us.
They have.
You get a special vegan
Ruined
menu.
it for the rest of us, alright?
But I don't think he should have beaten him and tied him. I think he should have just stripped him and left him there.
What's the point
the
of
beating
taking
was
someone's
uncalled
clothes
for,
off and
fair
leaving them there?
Well, I've told you.
No,
bear
just
in
leaving
mind,
them naked
again,
and driving off with the clothes, that's fine.
we're talking
But
about the
beating
70s.
him and tying him up.
You know what? Well, obviously beating
yes,
anybody,
I
beating
did
anybody is wrong, all right. But
Yeah.
it just
Physical
reminds
violence
me
is wrong.
of my friends.
Are you going to tell us a sad story?
Yeah, When
if you're
you
gonna
actually-
do it,
that story was horrible.
Yeah,
It was a horrible thing. It was a lovely man.
Yeah,
No
but
point
this
doing half a job,
guy,
is there?
this guy, Nigel, had caused all kinds of trouble with the
Yeah.
hunt.
No,
he tried to upset all the
He
horses.
nearly
and-
injured horses.
Yeah,
he spent his
and
whole
riders-
day
Which is terrible.
injuring
Which is
horses.
about
Falling off
and
maintain.
torturing dogs by confusing the poor things.
Yeah. So he kind of
Hounds.
Yeah, he kind of deserved it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did. Tied up
Yeah.
like a turkey. Got what he deserved.
Which in itself is sad.
What?
Turkeys.
Right. We're trying to finish this on a positive note, okay? And in the spirit of favourite moments, shut up. In the
Christmas
spirit of favourite moments, let's talk about our favourite moments from the book or from the podcast.
Oh.
Well, mine is still when Jan said in the background, and how much you hate Helen when you were asking for comments. That was my laugh out loud favourite moment. I've had a lot of laugh out loud. Bearing in mind, I'm listening to this on my own in my studio.
Yeah.
I still have laugh out loud moments, but that was my favourite.
I will, full disclosure on this one, okay? I want us to have as many listeners as possible. So I personally, whenever an episode comes out on Spotify, YouTube, whatever else, I listen to it. Even if I've got the volume off, I will play it. And one morning, getting ready for work, I usually have something on in the background and I couldn't think of what to put on. And I was already had the podcast playing on my phone to get the listens in. We're very new, okay? We're a very new podcast. So I just turned up the volume on that and I was listening to us chatting away while I was having a shower and getting ready for work. And it was the episode where we did, the generation game.
Oh, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And you said sheep's wool can be anything you want it to be.
She had just bought her sheep's wool slippers at that point.
Yeah.
And I found it, at the time, I found it so funny. And listening back, and just, really any moment where we genuinely laugh so much. I love those moments. Those are my favourite
The
moments.
sound of both of your laughter is the best.
I was going to say my favourite part is when I'm on my way to work. It's usually when I listen to it or when I'm at work, and you're not with them, like not with you guys, but especially your laugh, because Janet especially has an infectious laugh, which is a good thing. It's a good thing because it makes you laugh and makes you happy. But it's really nice when you're not with these people. It makes you feel like you are.
Yeah.
Well, for
And
you
that's
guys.
so nice.
Yeah.
Like, when
So
you don't
you don't
see
get
each
a
other,
break, that's what
you
you're
don't
trying
see
to say.
each other all the time, but it makes you feel like you are because it's the same.
Yeah.
And there is something in that, like especially because before the podcast you don't have that,
Yeah.
And then you do get it, and it's nice.
Oh,
And it's nice to hear you guys talk
Yeah,
about
as
something
mother and daughter to be able to sit and chat.
and do something
Yeah.
which you're so passionate about.
Well, we do love it, don't we?
We do.
And obviously for us, like, we're listening to ourselves and that's weird.
Weird.
Weird
No.
in itself. But for you guys, like, you're listening to your family
Yeah, it's funny.
on the car radio.
Yeah,
That must be so
It is
bizarre.
really weird.
I do love as well when you get your listeners' comments in.
I love getting listeners' comments. Somebody said, and I'm really sorry, I can't remember the name, but I remember the comment because it stuck with me. Somebody said that they listened to old episodes of the podcast while they fell asleep. I'm honoured. That's so nice.
That's an interesting compliment.
I would like to read everybody bedtime
comfort them or
story. I'm honoured that anyone wants to listen to us.
So anyway,
Apart from all
self-flagellation
these lovely
aside,
things,
let's
yeah.
talk about book favourite
Yeah.
things.
Yes, book favourite
Book
things.
favourite.
Oh, I was going to talk about when you said what's your favourite moment. I was going to talk about Googling hobby horse competition.
Well, that turned
That's a
into a
real
thing very quickly,
Yeah, it's
didn't
a
it?
proper thing, that, yeah.
That was the
You can
funniest
put that
moment
down
for
with
me.
Quidditch. I think it's as questionable.
Have you guys seen the hobby horsing video?
Well, of course we googled it when you said Google it.
Oh, I'd seen it long before.
I
then.
thought
Of course,
you
yeah, it's a
hadn't.
sport.
It's a
It's a
sport,
proper-
God.
It's quite impressive. They have to jump quite high, I tell you. It's quite
Well,
impressive.
yeah, but what about the dressage?
And there are
Come on.
there are rules on how long the stick is allowed to be.
You've checked all the rules.
I'm not saying I've checked
He's
them
in it
all, but
next year.
you know,
Oh dear.
I'm not going to do it half-heartedly, am I? What's my favourite thing from the book? Well, I obviously haven't read the books, but from what you've spoken about, what was the one when the horses went wild and they started trampling on all the garden?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
mine.
yes.
That was the one I was
That
trying to
was
recollect.
fun.
At
That
the
was
very
fun.
first
At the
show.
very
Especially the
beginning,
use
yeah.
of description about
Yeah.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that was fun.
Jake's very first show at Bilborough Hall. And the guns going off, so the horses all run away, and then one of them ends up being loose in the vegetable patch.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that was quite funny. I do remember that.
Oh, there's so many good moments from the book, like little things. I think in big things for me is Fenn's story, because I think that is the most satisfying storyline for me, and I love watching her evolve throughout the book. And she has a good ending, whereas I'm not sure that the other storylines have quite so satisfying of an ending.
No.
So I enjoy that one.
I'd like Sir Julie's friends and family to contribute in the future to reflections of Julie's favourites. And that would be lovely. But I'd also like to know if anybody knows if certain characters had influences from her personal friends and acquaintances.
I think,
like, for instance, knowing that Sir Julie has a daughter, was Fenn reflective of maybe some of the things her daughter was doing? I'm not saying that is the case. I'm saying I'd like to know if it's the case, especially if some were dealt with more affection than others.
What inspiration did she
I have
take?
heard suggestions that Rupert might have been very slightly inspired by Julie's brother.
Oh,
Who was a bit of a ladies' man and quite handsome by all
I've
accounts.
heard it was amalgamation of 3.
We've heard, what's it? Some I know it. I can't
Camilla
remember.
Parker Bowles,
Yeah,
her first husband.
Okay.
yeah, he was one of them.
Yeah.
Kevin Parker Bowles.
And I can't remember who the third one was.
I can't remember.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, she has said, I've heard her in an interview talking about that, and she said it is a kind of a mixture of various people that she kind of knew, because nobody can be.
I want
completely
more
that bad,
Sir Julie insight.
I would really love.
She
that.
has made comments and things in the past. I think
Yeah.
it would be nice if we could find them and they'd be copyright free, so you could include them.
Yeah, I mean we consume as much as we can of what she's said personally, but I would love some little insights. That would be really nice for us, and if we could share them as well, that would be even better.
Or if any of you
biography?
listeners out there have heard any good snippets that Julie's kind of come out with in interviews,
Real or
just share
imagined.
them with us, because we can then share them on the podcast.
So we've talked so much about why you guys love the podcast, obviously, because of course you do, and why we love the books. Can we maybe all give, I mean, you guys don't know, do you? Maybe we can give a reason each to go and read the books.
Oh, that's easy.
It's easy.
That is easy. Julie is
They're good.
So, well, yeah, she is so funny. Some of her descriptions are just beautiful.
Yeah.
Are hilarious, moving.
Yeah.
And some of the quotes, some of the funny things that are in there. Some chapters of the books can be a bit down because there's a lot of bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
But in the lighter moments, she's just a class of her own.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And she creates such rich worlds that you do step inside a whole other place when you go and read those books.
Yeah.
And there's so many little things, obviously the rich descriptions as well, but the little jokes and stuff that she does that we could never explain in a way that would do them justice on here. But there's so many little things that she does that are just amazing and funny, nice, interesting, whatever you want to call it. It's so worth reading the books for those little moments, I think. Has listening to this given you guys an encouragement to go and read the books yourself?
Honestly, no.
No, because Cam doesn't read.
I don't feel like I need to now because I get like the perfect.
I feel as though I do need to.
Yeah, see, that's
because
why
of this podcast.
Yeah. I get like the perfect little summary. It's like half an hour on the way to work, and that's all I need.
But Cam, let's be honest.
I don't have time. I do have time, but
is there anything that would encourage you to read any book?
yeah, I do like some books. It's just
I reckon you'd enjoy Polo.
It's a sport.
The book and the sport.
It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's a sport with the largest playing surface. Like if it like as a playing field. There you
Of
go.
course, if
Fun
somebody
fact for you.
knows sport facts, it's going to be Cam, isn't it?
I think that you would enjoy reading Jilly Cooper's book titled Polo because it's very sport focused.
Are her books though something which you could just read one of them like, if you were to go into Polo, having not read any of the others, would you be all right? Or
Yeah,
do you need an understanding of the characters and what's happened before?
No, because she builds a world, and a lot of the books, they have a new set of characters, and maybe they might have characters from the other books who are in the background, but I don't think you really need the background information on them. So I think if there was one book that was about a subject that you found interesting, you could absolutely start with that one and just read that one. And if you liked it, maybe you'd want to go and read some others. But I think you could read them isolated.
Well, I think you
some
could.
of them,
And
not
she always
all of
puts
them.
descriptions at the front of the book about the characters.
Yeah.
I love a good blurb.
And in some books, she puts maps. I think, personally...
I love a picture book.
Personally, I think there should be a map at the beginning of every book, and there isn't. Because I love flicking back through and think, oh, her house is there, and that one's there.
You go down that
road,
and
there's the
that
bridge.
takes you there.
Yeah. And I want maps for every book.
See, I could do that. I do like something which makes it easier to imagine it. That's why I quite like reading books which have a TV series. So like The Reachers, I really enjoyed those because it's easier to put a face to the character, or be like, oh, okay, that's kind of what, like...
If you don't have, if you don't have one in your head,
You've got to watch Rivals then.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of put me off, because I don't like Rupert in it. I don't like Rupert in Rivals.
Wow.
I know.
Dad, you said this has encouraged you to.
Oh, I'll definitely, yeah, because I think I've missed out on a lot of the qualities of her writing.
Yeah,
and I definitely like that.
And as much as these books are labelled trash, which they kind of are. It's incredibly well written trash. If it is,
but who says? Just
trash.
think about who says trash. Who says
absolutely.
that? Is it the same people, Olivia,
busters.
who said the Unbearable Lightness of Being is a good book? If the people said that is a good book, they don't deserve to compare it to Jilly Cooper.
Well, I do always think, the films have IMDb ratings. I always think if something's got like a really high rating on IMDb, I'm probably not going to enjoy it. But if it's got a middle of the road rating, then that one's for me.
There's always like a Rotten Tomatoes range. If it's like in that middle to low range, it's actually
anything
probably
that gets
good.
really high scores is just from people who want other people to think they enjoyed the thing.
Yeah.
But for quite a while, I mean, when Jilly first came out, the books, it's a bit like 50 Shades of Grey, people were reading that it's something different, and it was really, really thick. And then there was a time when it wasn't kind of cool to read the books, but I still did. And now it's like with Rivals, everybody's reading me. So, when were those reviews written?
Exactly. And who said it?
And who were they trying to impress when they wrote them?
If it's people's opinions that we don't care about, then we can write it off. But we've said this before, do not ever, ever feel ashamed for reading these books out in public.
No, and do not underestimate how good they are.
Oh, yeah.
I still think Dostoevsky will have his day.
And that's it.
Oh,
I know. Thank you so much for joining us for this bonus episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we have. We'll be taking a break for a couple of weeks now to catch up with ourselves, and then, the moment you've all been waiting for, we'll be moving on to Rivals. And yes, don't fear, we will absolutely be talking about the TV show. In the meantime, why not get a head start on reading the book of Rivals and watching or maybe rewatching the TV show so you're ready for us when we get back. We'll miss you, and we'll see you very soon.
And one question. This has been a bit of an experiment that maybe Percy and I weren't quite expecting. But do say if you want another one.
Yeah.
Oh, you quite enjoyed it.
Or if you want a spin-off.
If you
Spin-off.
Spin-off.
That's the thing.
The Percy and Barnaby spin-off.
Barnaby and I would be more than willing.
if you'd like to hear Percy and Barnaby on the podcast again,
without you two,
please let us know.
Can you imagine the first episode? Did you read it now?
We could do it in the Huntsman. There you go.
That's the local pub, by the way.
Yes.
How appropriate.
And on that bombshell.
And on that bombshell, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We love reading all your comments, and we're so grateful that you sent so many in this last time. It's been brilliant looking at them all and having a chat. So thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.